Yes, it all started out as a mild curiosity in the junkyard.
There are some corners of the universe which have read the most terrible things.
Go away.
Always remembering, of course, not to reverse the polarity of the neutron.
Change, my dear. It seems on a moment too soon.
Decision.
Don't worry, it's bigger on the inside.
Doctor Who.
Excuse me, do you mind not farting while I'm saying the word?
More of the big fool. Kind wine. Stuff.
I always read the instruction.
Kidneys! How can you kidneys?
Would you like a jelly baby?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Howdy, Gavna! I'm back here today to warn you that there may be some spoilers in the upcoming episode of Doctor Who Time and Space for Thin Ice. So if you haven't, go out in the cold and watch it and get some pies on the way. Enjoy! Welcome to episode 210 of Doctor Who Time and Space, a weekly Doctor Who Father and Son podcast, giving you all of the latest news and reviews with me, Lewis Moon.
And me, Dr. Cool.
We've got another exciting show coming up today.
We do indeed.
I must warn you that I may cough a lot in this video, I may not, but...
Bit cough and spluttery, aren't
Bit
you?
coffee and spluttery, so...
All that thin ice, that's what it is.
Yeah, all that thin ice.
Yeah.
That's a clue of what's coming
That's
up.
what happens if you sink into the ice, into the underwater underneath. You're just lucky you didn't get gobbled up by a large monster.
Yes, which generates me as poo.
Indeed.
Anyway, we are going to be reviewing episode 3 of series 10, Thin Ice, on today's show.
We'll be reviewing tonight's, or this week's episode, previewing, not reviewing, previewing.
Haven't watched it
previewing,
yet.
This week's episode, Knock Knock.
Yes, we will be looking at the top scary moments and episodes in Doctor Who.
And we'll be giving you the latest news and views from the Who-universe, including quite possibly some Left Fitzstewart novels, I'd imagine.
No, I'm afraid not this week. We do have some K9 Timequake news.
Ooh, that's something to look forward to then.
And we have, of course, ratings and stuff like that for Thin Ice. And of course our Knock Knock preview, will it be sort of after the news. But the main part you have to look forward to is coming up right now. And that is Thin Ice and our review. So, let's go under the ice. I know, twice that has ringed in like 2 minutes. Last week we talked about Smile. So yes, there is a new series of Doctor Who on, if you haven't guessed already at the moment. Last week we saw the 3rd episode of this much anticipated series, and that was Thin Ice. So we're going to share our opinions on it over the next 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever that will take us to. First of all, here's a little synopsis. So basically, the Doctor and Bill, carrying on from the end of the last episode where they saw an elephant on the Thames, they arrive in 1814. Get in! And that's in London in the last great frost fair on the London Thames. After dressing up in period clothes, the TARDIS has identified a large life form, which is hiding under the ice. So the Doctor's sonic screwdriver is then nicked by a child named Spider, one of the pickpockets led by Orphan Kitty. The Doctor and Bill chase Spider and Kitty down the fair. Glowing lights encircle over Spider's feet, and he is pulled into the ice. Bill is troubled now because she's never seen anyone die. So they track down Kitty and learn they've been paid to bring more people to the fair, with some having gone missing. So basically, the Doctor and Bill go under to purposely let the lights take them, and they find out a sea creature which has eaten Spider and the others, and they learn that there's the person behind it is someone with the ship tattoo, and that turns out to be Lord Sutcliffe. Should we?
Yeah, that's probably enough to get certainly set the scene, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Should I share my opinion?
Yeah. What was your thoughts on it?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Series 10 is proving to be fantastic, I must say. And I think that so far, The Nice is my favourite one of the bunch. It's very fun, family-friendly entertainment, which, to be honest, first things first, and pre-episode, in the first few minutes in the episode, it didn't look like a great episode, I must be honest, but it really pleasantly surprised me. However, there are some things bad about it, and there didn't feel like much of a threat in the episode. We had some memorable moments, some funny scenes, and a really enjoyable episode that I enjoyed even more than the wonderful scripts that were The Pilot and Smile. Your thoughts?
Okay. It's interesting to sort of see another one written by Sarah Dollard, wasn't it?
Yes,
Face the Raven for the previous series. And I think it was fair to say that was a very highly rated episode.
Yeah,
in its
and a
own
very
right.
good one.
Here, she's possibly surpassed it, I think, actually.
Yeah.
In terms of a story.
Think so.
I really like I don't want to give away too much on it, because we'll get on to Too Good, Too Bad in a minute, and I don't want to just repeat everything all over again.
No, neither do I.
But I think it was a fantastic sort of setting for the story. Interesting concept with the really big monster. There is an issue, I think, around a lack of threat.
There is, and we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, no doubt.
A discussion that we were talking about on the bus earlier.
But it was a very highly watchable one. I think what's been good about season 10 so far, and we'll see whether it lasts for the duration of the series, but it's used fairly basic stories for each of the stories, but for each of the episodes. But I think probably the key thing is it's felt like a family show again.
It has felt very different than the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, they've sort of used basic elements of stories from the past, I think, in these stories. However, it still feels new and fresh, and it still feels very like a good Saturday evening entertainment show, unlike what it was in Series 8 and 9, which we thought was brilliant. We don't want to keep talking about that. We want to keep talking about this series.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's before we get into too much detail on it, let's head straight to Too Good, Too Bad. Because that often sets the scene for the discussions more generally.
Do you want to explain what Too Good, Too Bad is?
So, Too Good, Too Bad means that we, between us, come up with two good things because they're too good for human consumption. And we think of too bad things, things that are too bad.
Okay.
So, do you want to go first of all with your good?
I'm going to start off. I mean, this will cause some discussion for us. I'm going to start off with the look of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
It looked absolutely stunning. The Frost Fair just looked amazing. I don't know how they did it. But, it looked really good, really well done. It looked like it was actual London.
Yeah.
The visuals, it visually looked very good. I like last week's, actually.
Yeah.
The last two episodes, the scenery and the setting have been some highlights of the episode.
Yeah. I think the only sort of time where you could see that perhaps that there isn't a huge budget. It's not got a sort of a Game of Thrones, Walking Dead style budget. I think the only time you could really tell that was perhaps right at the end when you saw the monster sort of swimming off
Yeah.
where it looked slightly less convincing. But I mean, I was commenting during the episode about how good it looked. It had a real big feel to it, and I know in recent years they've tried to get that, and I think they did it very well in this episode.
It did have a big sort of scale to the. I don't know how they did it on this scale of budget. I can see there are some bits which did look like a bit fake. However, they can't do much on a big scale, on a small scale budget, but it's amazing for what it was.
Yeah, no, I thought it looked really good. I thought the costumes looked really good.
Yes.
And I love the whole idea of the story being set at the ice fair.
Yeah,
it's
me
a
too.
really great setting for it.
They've done it in... Because I read the other day, it was initially meant to be a multi-Doctor episode with Matt Smith's Doctor. Because if you remember, in A Good Man Goes to War, he mentions... River Song mentions that she went to the Frost Fair skating.
Really?
And she got... I can't remember, someone to perform.
Oh, right, okay. No, I don't remember that.
Oh, it was in A Good Man Goes to War, in the Stormcage facility.
So they actually had the concept for this story as a multi-Doctor one, did they?
Apparently, Thin Ice they had as a multi-Doctor story initially.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, that was great. Have you got anything for Too Good, Too Bad?
Yeah, I think my good. And it's probably a boring thing to say because we've said the same thing pretty much for the whole of the series so far.
Good.
But I think yet again the relationship between Capaldi's Doctor and Bill was fantastic. We had a slightly different edge to it this time because there was the moment when the Doctor looks really chuffed because he manages to rescue his stolen sonic screwdriver just as the young urchin disappears under the ice and is effectively eaten by the sea monster. And there's all that big long bit of dialogue from Bill about how many people has the Doctor seen die and how many, has he actually killed anyone himself. And for a while I think it suddenly brings a real harsh reality to her about what sort of person it is that she's travelling with. It's not just a jokey professor like she thought, not just this comical penguin running penguin with his arse on fire sort of lecturer. He's actually quite a dangerous character, and I really liked that. I really liked how they did that. I really liked how they turned it back round as well. There was a moment when she, because the Doctor was basically sort of indicating that he just has to get on with things, however bad things are, he just gets on with it. She they ask her something and she sort of said, "Oh, I've got over it," or something like that, and then there's like a sticky tongue out sort of movement.
Yeah.
So it was really, really good. I said this I think last week, but I can really see Bill becoming my favourite companion of New Who.
Yeah, Pearl is fantastic.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Since she's effectively an unknown.
Yeah, I know. She's not really been in much. She's been in a couple of cameos in TV, and she's appeared in a few stage appearances. So she is relatively unknown, and I think this could be the start of a career for her. So, Doctor Who got her first, but I'm looking forward to seeing where Bill's character goes. I'm looking forward to seeing her reaction to more about the Doctor.
Yeah.
And I really don't want her to become like she's actually to do with the plot, like Amy and Rory and Clara.
Yeah. I don't think Moffat would be able to resist having something like that because I love Moffat's story writing and everything like that, but sometimes he is a little bit too clever for his own good.
Yeah, and people are actually praising Series 10, and if he does that, I think that people wouldn't praise it.
Yeah.
So they'd look bad. They'd look at it in a negative way. But just the episodes that he wrote.
Okay, so if we move on from those are our two good things, what are our two bad things?
The bad. I'm going to talk about threat, and I'm going to say the threat was very weak. that's 3 stories in a row now with the well, more than that actually, but in series 10, 3 stories which the threat was low. It doesn't really affect too much of the story because the most positive thing about the episodes so far in the series for me were the performances from the Doctor and Bill.
Yeah. Indeed, yeah.
Peter Capaldi and Paul McKee. And the threat in most of Capaldi's era has been very low. And I think we do need a threat, and I think we will get a very, very big threat according to the team in the finale. So
Okay.
I'm hoping that rises, but it hasn't really mattered. But I just think that no, the in the Capaldi era it has been very low, and we have felt like the stories are focusing on character development more than having a proper threat, having a universe destructing monster or item.
It's not really something that bothers me too much. But I think it is a point that in the end, all we had yesterday was like last week was the. I can't even remember his name now. What's the
Lord
name?
Sutcliffe.
Lord Sutcliffe.
And he couldn't really endanger.
No.
I mean, there were a few deaths, which is good.
Yeah.
That I mean, Sarah Dollard even dared to kill a child. Which
Yeah, that's right.
hardly anyone ever does that. So
Yeah, I thought actually though that Sutcliffe made a quite good sort of villain, and it was quite good having him as being a human and not an alien in a way.
yes, that was good.
It did mean that it's not as much of a threat, but I guess in this great scheme of things, the story wasn't significantly about threat.
No, it wasn't.
It was more so about seeing how Bill reacted to their first adventure going back in time.
Yeah.
Okay, I think for my bad, what we're going to go for, I think I didn't really like the scene which revisited the whole kill the moon thing.
Okay.
So that whole thing about it being your planet.
I did notice that when the episode was on, and I noticed, they are rehashing that, but it didn't really bother me.
It doesn't bother me significantly.
No.
But I don't know. I just sort of thought to myself a little bit. He never used to do that all the time. Why is he suddenly starting to do it with all his companions now?
Yeah, I know.
But
yeah.
But it's not a significant complaint because there wasn't really anything significantly big to moan about.
No, I think it was
far
a
more good
very,
than bad.
it was a very, very good episode. I could come up with many, many more goods than bads, and if we didn't have to do a bad, then I wouldn't have to. I just had to come up with one on the top of my head.
Okay, well you said you could come up with a lot of goods. What are the things that would nearly have got into your list?
I think something that enticed me into the episode from the start was the costume design. I think the costume design's been great in this episode.
Yeah.
They were talking about in the fan show actually designing the costumes for like 120 extras.
Yeah, I mean that's
and
quite a
Dr.
job,
and
isn't it?
Bill. Yeah,
Quite a
so
job.
you've got to do things for like the performers, the urchins, the people in the street, the Doctor and Bill, spacesuits,
Yep.
Victorian costumes. So it was really good to see those costumes featured in the episodes, and the Doctor in the top hat, you could never go wrong with that.
No, definitely not. Yeah. No, very good. Really good episode.
Yeah, there's some great bits in it. I liked the scene where the Doctor punches Lord Sutcliffe for being racist to Bill. What were your thoughts on that?
I like that bit because what made me laugh about it, and I knew it was coming because I remember it from the trailer.
trailers.
But I thought it was very funny the way that the Doctor was saying to Bill, "You've got to be calm," because he knew that she could be a bit fiery. You know, sometimes you just got to take it on the chin, be polite about it, and you can usually get what you want if you deal with things in that way. Then within a couple of seconds, he's punching him in the face. Which isn't very Doctor-like, is it really?
No, it isn't. You
punching.
hardly ever have anyone punching.
But we have seen it before, but it's not very common.
No, it isn't. What else was I going to say? I also like the... it's good to see these... it's the first sort of the Who addicts were saying this. I think it's the first sort of reference to Bill's skin colour.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a line where they said where Bill's is it's more black than in the movies, and the Doctor says Jesus was black or something.
Yes.
History's a whitewash. Do you like the way how they address race and colour of the skin in this episode?
Yeah, I think generally, I think they cover it quite well.
Yes, they do. They've done minority things very well, this series, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, very good.
What did you think of the villains in general?
Lord Sutcliffe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite liked it. I enjoyed him. I did feel like, he couldn't really do anything. However, he was an interesting character and he was a good villain. So, I would have punched him. Would you?
I'm not very good at punching, but
Neither am I, but if I could, I would punch
he
him.
deserved one.
He deserved one, yeah, definitely. Lots of people deserve them in Doctor Who, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Including the companions sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, so, general thoughts then?
Oh, wait, no, we need to talk about the ending.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, let's talk about the ending. That's good.
Let's
good
talk
point.
about the ending. So, at the end, possibly one of my favourite scenes in the episode. I didn't want to mention it in Too Good, Too Bad because I didn't want to spoil this for topics later on. But one of my favourite scenes in the episode was the ending where we saw Nardole go down to the vault. And we get a hint at what could be behind it. We hear 3 knocks followed by another 4. And Nardole says, "I'm still here," and says something about the Doctor. He has a new friend, but I'm still here.
Yeah. So
he knows what's inside the vault.
Yeah.
He must have been there when the Doctor made the oath.
Yeah.
Do we think it's John Sim?
I said to you a few weeks ago, didn't I, that my theory is that it's something to do with the keys of time.
Key to time.
Key to time, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be a very interesting storyline. I still think it's John Sim.
I think it'd be linked to him.
Yes. However, it would be too obvious, wouldn't it? Because it's Stephen Moffat.
Maybe it's the Master and the key to time.
Maybe. Maybe it's more than one object. But yeah, no. So yeah, the Master. It could be the Master. Obviously, the knocking of 4 times.
Yeah.
From the Last of the Time Lords, Sound of Drowns, Utopia, and End of Time. All of those. I quite like the tease that they've put in there. I don't think it would be as obvious who plant that in there because it's Stephen Moffat, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to seeing how John Sim is in this series. I think the popular theory online is that Missy is really the Rani, and she's been lying to the Doctor all along. But we'll see. Maybe she trapped the Master inside the vault.
Yeah, I think it's more likely it's that she's the Master's daughter.
Yes, could be. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
but
very
we
interesting.
shall see.
Anyway, so very interesting ending sequence. We'll talk more about the vault in the news as well because we've got some exciting news on that front. What should we do first? Should we do?
What did you think of? Can I just ask you a little bit about what do you think of
course.
Nardole in this one? I mean, we talked about the end sequence a bit, but
Oh yeah, of course. I think he actually feels like he's not pointless anymore.
he certainly he felt like he had a point in this
He
episode.
did.
I really enjoyed Nardole this time round.
I did.
I mean, that first. I mean, Nardole's been in 5 stories so far, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
He's in the 2 Christmas specials, and then he's been in the 3 episodes this series.
Yeah.
I really didn't like him at all in Husbands of River Song.
Oh, it was awful in
I
Husbands
thought
of River Song.
I thought it was just, it felt fake and...
Yeah.
But then Doctor Mysterio, I really enjoyed it. It's one of the things I enjoyed most about it.
We were so pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. But then we came back to the pilot and I thought, we really don't need this in it. It's like a comedy,
I
comedy value that we didn't
I
need.
didn't really mind him in the pilot. I quite enjoyed it. I thought he delivered some funny lines. I could definitely see where you were coming from though.
He did deliver funny lines. It's just that
Yeah.
he didn't really need to. He didn't need to deliver the funny lines. I mean, they put the funny lines in Nardo's comedy half hour or something in a different programme.
Smile, you couldn't really gather much, but
No, it was effective though.
yeah, and Thin Ice, I think he's worked really well. I think if he's more like this in the later parts of the series, we'll enjoy it. But from Oxygen next week, he's going to be more involved in the actual stories. So let's hope he actually continues to be a bit more like he was in Thin Ice and Return of Dr. Mysterio, so that he can... because he's appearing in Oxygen, Extremist, Pyramid at the End of the World, Empress of Mars, Eaters of Light, and probably the others as major parts. He's actually pictured in the Adventures.
Okay. So okay, well that would be interesting, won't it? See how much he is in it and whether it feels like he needs to be. Yeah,
well, he's going to be with the Doctor and Bill in their actual adventures in the next weeks after Knock Knock. So.
Okay. It's clever how they've allowed you to get used to Bill first of all. Yes, that is good.
So, what should we do? Should we go to the Twitter poll?
Mm-hmm.
See what your opinion is? So, very positive again on the Twitter polls.
Have you refreshed it, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, let me refresh it again. Very positive over at the Twitter polls. Not negative at all. Wait a sec. Oh yeah. Okay, so far, 0% terrible, 9% alright, 43% good, and 48% fantastic.
Okay.
So very good. 91% of those votes are in the top two columns.
Yeah, I think that's probably by far and away the best response we've ever had. In the polls.
So that's at DRWho time as in N space on Twitter. Well, we'll have those every Sunday available. Plus, we'll have them available on MrLewisMoonAdventures.weebly.com every week, where there'll be a survey to do with the episode. But you can also vote in our discussions about top things as well. So make your vote count, and we'll and comment below too, so we can read your response.
Sounds good.
Should we round up our thoughts then?
Yep. Okay.
So Thin Ice was my favourite episode so far in Series 10. I really enjoyed it, and I liked the era of the Regency era. It looked stunning, the costumes looked great, and the ending sequence furthered the mystery of the vault, and Nada was actually bearable. Although there felt like not much of a threat in the episode, it was still enjoyable and could prove to be a popular episode in both my opinion and fans' opinions. I am going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
So that's my most positive score so far.
Okay. I'll keep my thoughts fairly brief, but yet again, it was, as has been the case with the series so far, it's been very much the Peter and Pearl show, I think.
It has, definitely. I forgot to mention that.
They just bounce off each other so well. It's a really lovely relationship that they've got. It was put to the test in this particular episode. We now know that Bill has got a far clearer idea about who the Doctor is and what he's all about, and the dangers of being with him. But at the same point, there was some really lovely stuff talked about in the previous episode around him being sort of like an intergalactic policeman, and I think that still holds good for this episode. Really, really enjoyable story. That's, albeit a bit slow to start. Once it got going, it was one you could imagine the whole family sitting down and enjoying. Went very, very quick. Good acting, great scenes, good story. Limited amount of threat from the villain, but probably that wasn't really what it was all about. So yeah, all in all, I'm going to give it an 8.4.
Interesting. Cool. You gave it an 8.3 on the thing.
Did I?
Yeah.
I'll give it an 8.3 then.
Because you said it was you changed deep breath.
Oh yeah, I did. You're right.
Yeah.
Actually, I changed deep breath to 8.4 because I still slightly prefer it.
Oh, did you?
I think in general, my early thoughts on season 10, and it's too early to give any real detailed thoughts. I've got a feeling it's going to be a series of episodes that are all roughly about the same.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
like
going to have.
Pete Davidson here and there.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, in many respects, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
just
it's going to
better.
have any. I can't see there being a Heaven Sent this season.
No, there
or,
won't
or
be
a Zygon invasion.
There won't be a Heaven Sent or Zygon inversion, and there probably won't be a Sleep No More or a In the Forest of the Night this series either. But,
Yeah. I think it seems to be more about just sort of like good fun, family entertainment. .2. But it's family entertainment with a little bit of a scare because there still is a scare there.
like
Definitely.
tonight. But back to what they initially wanted Doctor Who to be like, and that's what counts.
Yeah. Most definitely. Okay. So, do I need to do the other bits of the scoring, or we don't bother with about them, do we?
No, we don't on the episode reviews or live.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
in that case, then, if we've done that little round up there.
Yeah, let's go over to the news then. Ratings. We've got ratings. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, we've got ratings.
Sounds like something that Harry Hill would have done on his show.
I know. Anyway, that was ratings, the theme tune, which we're never going to play again. So we've got some news on ratings and an update on ratings for Thin Ice and Smile. So last week we talked about Smile Overnight's AIs and pilot final viewing figures. So today we have Thin Ice Overnight and AIs and Smile Consolidated TV figures. I'm afraid that it has gone down slightly for Thin Ice with 3.76 million viewers.
What was it last time again? Roughly?
What for?
For Smile.
4.25 million viewers.
Okay. I mean, you'd expect it to go down a little bit as the season goes on. You'd also, as the weather gets nicer, you'd expect that people are out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So doesn't surprise me.
It was 3.7 last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to bore people with the whole idea of it, but it goes down to exactly what we said before. It's just the viewing figures are down, folks. Don't expect miracles.
And online it said one newspaper reported, "Oh my God, Doctor Who's going to be axed because of this."
Did it?
It loses it loses 1 million viewers when it's not million.
Yeah.
Viewers.
Was that the Mirror or the Sun?
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
We won't blame them just in case it wasn't.
Yeah. But I don't think there's a danger of it. I still don't think there's a danger of it being axed.
No, definitely not now because you've got Chibnall coming in.
And we've got high ratings for it. We're just not getting particularly high viewing figures. But like we sort of said, that seems to be the case with everything.
It does, yeah.
Coming on with the news, I'm going to quickly look up something which I'll add into the story as we're going.
What story?
About the ratings. Carry on.
So the AI for the good news for the episode. On the other hand, good news, everyone. We have the AI for Thin Ice was 84, which has gone up 1 from Smile and the Pilot, which had 83. So basically, AI is the Audience Appreciation Index, which is a score out of 100, which is used as an indicator of the public's appreciation of the show. Over 90 is considered exceptional, 85 or over is excellent, 60 or less is poor, and less than 55 is very poor. And it got an 84, so that's good. If the episodes continue to go up over the next couple of weeks, then it will get an excellent. So let's hope they do.
Okay.
What were you telling us about?
I was just having a look at what was the date last Saturday?
The 23rd, I think.
Okay, so assuming I'm looking at the right thing, it looked like it was the 8th most popular programme? Oh, it's just BBC One by the looks of it. How do we find overall?
It was like 23rd overall.
Oh, was it?
Really low.
Okay.
But that was just Smile.
Yeah.
They haven't released the one. So.
Well, even if you look at it just in the context of BBC One, it was their 8th most popular programme in the week, which actually is quite strong, really.
It is quite strong. Car Show, I don't know why it gets that many views, because it's actually on the iPlayer.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah, it's strange. But the sorts of things that are above it, let's see. So you got Line of Duty, that was the last one of that, I think, wasn't it?
It was.
So
Don't you
that 9 million
expect that?
viewers, crumbs.
God.
But it's very, very popular, that. This seemed to indicate you had 5.98 viewers.
That was last week's.
Oh, is that Smile? Is it? Okay.
So, yeah, no, here it is. Yeah, 5.98 million was the viewing figures for Smile, the final viewing figures. Could you mention that? Because I'm going to go on to that next.
Okay, yeah. So this is probably just a week behind then.
Good news then, though. Good news, everyone. It beat All Round to Mrs. Brown's.
Yeah, I noticed that, yeah.
That awful crap.
Yeah.
That is All Round to Mrs. Brown's was beaten by Doctor Who. Yes.
Yeah. I really still I don't understand Mrs. Brown's Boy.
Oh, it's awful.
I just don't get it.
It's awful.
Yeah.
How can anyone actually like that?
Yeah. Do we know how it's faring across the sea at all?
In what?
In terms of how popular this series is in America?
In ratings?
Yeah.
We have Australian every week we get over here.
Yeah.
So they had The Thin Ice had 473,000 viewers in the 5 major capital cities of Australia, and that was the 2nd highest rating ABC drama of the day, the 11th highest rating programme of the day overall. These ratings do not include iView, regional or time-shifted viewers. These are really low. The reason is because of it's in Australia and they don't get as many people watching the shows because Doctor Who isn't as big over there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, should we move on?
Yeah, move on, yeah.
Should we talk about binarial edition of Knock Knock later?
Yes.
Yeah,
Come on to that when we get on to Knock Knock a bit more.
Extremists then. The official synopsis for Extremists has been released. And what's this?
I was just looking at something on viewing figures.
Oh yeah.
Still. No, come on with the...
Okay, sorry. The official story synopsis for Extremists has been revealed.
Okay.
So, in the Hereticum, the Vatican's secret library of blasphemy, there is an ancient book known only as the Veritas. Throughout history, anyone who has ever read it has immediately taken their own life. Now a new translation is online, and the danger is spreading. The Vatican appeals to the Doctor. Will he read the Veritas, but can the Doctor survive the ultimate truth? It airs Saturday the 20th of May on BBC One, with the time to be confirmed.
Do you think the time will change?
They're never confirmed at this point.
Oh, they're not.
The time will change for very, very slightly for next week's episode to 7:15 because of the Eurovision Song Contest.
Okay, yeah.
So it airs 5 minutes earlier, but that's not a big change.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that synopsis?
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't get overly excited by the synopsises, to be fair, just because they don't really give too much away.
I actually like that synopsis a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a reason by that, is because it's got a very interesting plot to it, that there's this book that basically makes you commit suicide when you read it. It's like, there's something in there. So, of course, we've got another announcement about Extremists this week that makes it even more exciting.
Yeah.
Plus the announcement that it will appear Missy in it, and it will be the first of the 3-parter, and it's got the first appearance of the Truth Monks. Also, the new issue of Doctor Who magazine, which we'll talk about in a second, has confirmed that fans won't have to wait too long to clear up what's inside the vault, because what's inside the vault will be revealed in Extremis. And that's 2 weeks to wait until we find out what's inside.
This is the moment where what you find out is the vault opens and actually Bill is just a sort of like a Zygon type skin, and it's actually Clara. When Clara returns.
I think Clara is inside the vault.
Yeah,
because he said you've got a new friend. So Stephen Moffat explained, it's the absolute classic mystery, isn't it? It's the locked door. It's the simplest thing I could do. The Doctor's got a locked door, but it's instantly fascinating. I mean, you'd only have to be staying in someone's house for a while and realise that one of the doors is locked to become impossibly curious about what's in there. That's human nature. There is something perfectly fascinating about a locked door. And we don't have to wait a whole 12 episodes to find out what's in there, which I think is important, or you'll go mad. Do you think Bill will check inside there? Bill will go inside.
Could be, could be something to do with Bill. Yeah.
Bill will find a way to enter it.
Yeah.
Nardole and the Doctor have gone off to find out about the Veritas, and Bill enters it because the picture of John Sims shows Bill's afro hair in the background.
Can I ask you a question about the vault?
Yeah.
Too good, too bad things it could be.
We had to do this for everything, don't we?
No, we could actually just change the name of this podcast to Too Good. Doctor Who, Too Good, Too Bad.
I think I'd like it to be John Sim.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing one good each?
Yeah, I think Key to Time. That's what I want.
Bad Clara.
Bad
Donna.
It all comes here. Bad Donna.
No, for you, that wouldn't be a bad for me.
Bad for me. Something that reveals that Bill actually isn't really a human.
Yeah, or she's a Mondasian, Latira from Mondasian.
Yes, yeah. That's what would be bad for me.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Well, I'm looking forward to that, because now Extremis is my second most anticipated of the episodes.
Ooh.
Behind the finale, World Enough in Time, Doctor Falls.
Okay.
So...
I'm still looking forward for the Matheson one, I think.
Yes.
That would just, he started with such a promising couple of episodes.
We only have a week to wait for that one.
Yeah, no, that's right, yeah.
Some trailers tonight.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. On with the next bit of news.
BBC Worldwide and Skype have announced this week the launch of their first ever Doctor Who bot. The Doctor will open the TARDIS doors and invite players to help him save the universe in an exciting, interactive digital experience titled The Saviour of Time. The brand new bot uses the latest technology to deliver a unique experience between the Doctor and the player.
I'm going to have to have a go at this in a minute after this podcast, because I'm quite intrigued by it.
I've played it. Have
you finished it yet?
They released, so basically, I think it tells you down here, a new chapter will be released every Sunday at 6 p.m. BST, shortly following episodes of Doctor Who Series 10, after the air in BBC One, BBC America, Space, ABC and in other key international markets. So after the episode airs, quite shortly after, they'll have the next chapter, and there's 6 chapters where they have to find the 6 pieces of the key to time. Episode 1's really good. I've tried it out. The Saviour of Time it's quite enjoyable, and if you type in your name basically. So I said Lewis, and the Doctor's basically talking to you all the time. He's saying, I won't give it away for you or Decool, but he actually puts your name in there and inserts it. So I don't know how they do that, and they sort of reply to you. Yeah. Whatever you say, it sort of replies.
Very clever. I'll definitely have to have a go. It'd be interesting probably for you to sit in and watch when I have a go in a minute to see how different it is. Yeah. Okay, well after this show I'm going to have a go at it.
Try and insert things differently than I did.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds again they're trying to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, there are some questions you need to answer on there too. which the Doctor asks you, and I can probably give you the answers. So I know you
Okay.
can solve them.
Sounds
I
good.
won't give you the answers. Let's see, what should we talk about next?
news.
So much news at the moment. I like that. Let's see.
Certainly better than this time last year when we had 0 news.
0 news. Series 10 Blu-ray and DVD releases.
I can't believe they're talking about this already.
I know. Well, it's actually quite soon they're going to release it.
Are they?
BBC Worldwide have released details of their forthcoming DVD and Blu-ray sets for the current series of Doctor Who. So, Series 10, Peter Capaldi's final series as the Doctor, will be available to buy in 2 parts in DVD and Blu-ray, as well as a complete version released later this year. They're now available for pre-order on Amazon, iTunes, and HMV. Released on the 29th of May, Part 1 will cover episodes 1 to 6 of the Doctor's latest adventures. The Doctor is keen to show his new friend Bill Potts the wonders of the universe, but lovable android Nardole remains him with an oath he has taken to guard the contents of a mysterious vault. Part 2, released on 17th of July, features episodes 7 to 12, in which the Doctor travels, bring him face to face with Ice Rose and Cybermen. His adventures draw to a terrifying conclusion as a long-lost face from the past returns.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's the Master, or do you think that's David Bradley?
I reckon that's the Master.
Yeah. Both parts will also include 6 exclusive art cards which are themed to the episode. Bonus episodes will include an inside look feature for each of the 12 episodes. The episodic features will feature behind the scenes footage, cast interviews, and the inside story. Plus, they feature the binaural sound edition of Knock Knock, which we'll talk a bit more about later. You can see more details of that and how to pre-order at mrlewismoonadventures.weebly.com on the show notes.
Cool.
I'll just show Deco. These are the art cards. You may notice they've been putting them up on the fan show every week in the background.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So they've got ones themed to each episode.
So did you say when the release was coming out?
The first one's coming out on the 29th of May, and then the second box is being released on the 17th of July. 29th of May, did I say that? Yeah. 29th of May and the 17th of July.
What are you going to do? Are you going to buy them, or are you going to wait for a box set to
Wait
come out
for
nearer
the box
Christmas?
set, because it makes for a... It is better than buying... if they do a box set, which they will do. But I don't like having 2 DVDs. It makes it easier to carry. For example, if we have a randomizer which is spread over 2 discs, then like the 3-parter, then it would be a pain because you'd have to take both DVDs.
Yeah, no, that is true. Okay, what further news do we have? Lay down some more news, boy.
I think we have one more bit of news because most of it this week has been about Knock Knock.
Okay.
But the new K9 design has been revealed. So the new design for the Doctor's favourite tin dog, K9, has been released at the DW Appreciation Society convention being held this weekend in Sussex. So this is brand new exclusive news. We're probably the first podcast reporting about this. Because on the Podcast Alliance, if you're listening over there. The robot dog will feature in a new movie, Timequake, due to be released next year. The new design was unveiled by the robot's creator, Bob Baker, and by Paul Tams, the producer of the upcoming film, and one of the men behind the Australian TV series K9. The new film will see the robot dog battle against Omega, another character created by Bob Baker along with his late partner, Dave Martin. The new design was created using a 3D printer using the film's CGI model as a blueprint. It was unveiled at the Doctor Appreciation Society event, the Capital, being held in Crawley, West Sussex this weekend. Finally, that we've actually got confirmation that the K9 movie's actually happening.
Yeah.
We've not heard about this for like 2 years now.
No, it's odd. It's going to be quiet. It just seems a shame that the film's not going to be coming out this year if it's the anniversary.
Apparently, no.
But Yeah, intriguing. I can't say I'm
Yeah.
overly excited about it.
No,
but
neither am I.
do you think
it looks
perhaps
awful.
K9's in the vault?
Maybe.
Maybe K9 will pop out for his 40th
And
anniversary.
Omega.
Yeah.
Omega. But yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to it. But we will do a feature to do with the K9's 40th anniversary later this year on the podcast.
We'll no
so-
doubt go and watch it if it comes out.
Oh,
this
we
summer.
will, and we'll give you our review of it. But it's gonna be. It looks awful. To be
I would
honest.
rather watch Autons 2.
Me too. Let's watch Autumn too. Now.
Okay. Any other comments on the K9 story?
No, and I think that's about it for news. We've got other stuff, but
Just thinking about it. I mean, do we know? Is any other cast been mentioned at all? Because presumably it's not just going to be K9. It would be K9 and a human companion of some form.
yeah. Oh no, wait, we do have news. Sorry, we have another bit of news. We have Dawn, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have any casting updates. I don't know whether it's the people from the TV series or anything. One final bit of news is that the Doctor Who magazine issue 512 was out this week.
It dropped this week.
Yeah, I've got it at home. It's brilliant. It features an exclusive interview with David Suchet, who plays the enigmatic landlord in this week's episode, Knock Knock. Also in there, it previews the next 4 episodes. Knock Knock, Oxygen, Extremis and the Pyramid at the End of the World, with exclusive pictures, interviews with the writers, quotes and synopsises.
Ooh.
And also there's an interview with there's interviews with Smile writer Frank Cottrell Boyce, Thin Ice writer Sarah Dollard, Pilot and Smile director Lawrence Goff, and Bill makes her comic strip debut in the first part of The Soul Garden. And there's a look into the 1966 story The Ark, which took the Doctor, Stephen and Dodo into the far future. Plus all the latest official news, reviews, the Watchers column, competitions and the Dawn crossword. Dodgy Magazine 512 is on sale from Thursday the 4th of May, that's by now, priced at £5.99. It's gone up, but it's cheaper for subscription, so get the subscription, it's easy. Don't have to go to the shops.
Fantastic. Okay, was that round up the news?
Yeah.
Well, let's get on to our preview of Knock Knock.
Yeah, let's get on to our preview of Knock Knock. So tonight, once again, we've got another episode of Doctor Who, and it's going to be Knock Knock, the 4th episode of Series 10, which is written by Mike Bartlett, and guest starring David Suchet as the mysterious, enigmatic landlord. Should I read the synopsis to you?
Yeah, whilst you're opening that up, I mean, what do we know about Mike Bartlett? It's his first story for Who.
It is.
Do we know much about him? What's he written for?
He's most famous for Dr. Foster. There's a full list of his credits actually in Dawn this month. I can't remember them off the top of my head, however.
Okay. Well, lay this synopsis down on us then.
Okay, so Bill is moving in with some friends and they found the perfect house. So what if it's strangely cheap to rent and the landlord is a little creepy? The wind blows, the floorboards creak, and the doctor thinks something is very wrong. What lurks in the strange tower at the heart of the building, and why can't they find any way to enter it? Thoughts on the episode pre-air?
There's things that intrigue me about it. I like things based in a haunted house.
Yes, it looks very creepy.
Yeah. Great thing for the series to have got Mr. Suchet.
Yes, and he's actually very proud to be in it. He's actually on like the fan show and stuff. I
can't remember where it was I saw it. You showed me earlier on. May have been in Dawn. I liked the concept of them bringing back, there's sort of a reference to the past where one of the people that lives in the house is going to be, did you say it was Harry's grandson or something?
Yeah, Harry Sullivan's grandson.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. I love little...
Yeah, he appeared in 17 episodes alongside Tom Baker and Elizabeth Sladen back in the day.
Yeah, a really good little reference to that. I like the look of these little wooden creatures, whatever they may be. This wooden
Yes.
ghost or wooden thing.
Woman.
I bet you that it's not going to turn out to be anything overly scary at all.
Yeah,
It's
hopefully
something
there
that's
won't
just
be the
trying to
hide
get home.
scenario.
Yeah, it's just trying to get home. It's just trying to get home.
It's just trying to be the... No, I think it's one of the past inhabitants of the house. And then and then the landlord wants one of the new... Like, Bill to replace it or
Ooh.
something. Perhaps.
Okay, yeah. So
Um,
maybe it's some sort of weird offshoot of the flatline monster
yes.
that pulls things into the wall.
I forgot to show you the clip from the new clip from Knock Knock.
Okay, we'll have a look after the
Yeah,
show maybe.
so you can't hear our thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Tuning for...
If you listen, you might hear the thoughts. You might be able to hear the thudding sound as we think. I don't
Yes, you might
Um,
be able to.
know. Okay.
Um,
So, what are your general thoughts on it?
I think that it looks very creepy. It looks very interesting. I'm hoping it will be the best one so far. In anticipation, it is in preview verdict.
Yeah,
It's
I think it's going to struggle to beat last week's episode.
it
Last
is.
week's
I
episode
think
was
it will
really
be first or second.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't disappoint.
Yeah. Perhaps may I make a suggestion here?
Yeah.
That no, I'm not going to.
What was it?
It's going to be too good, too bad, but it's impossible to do that. We'll save that for
No, we
next
can't
item.
do that.
I just love that concept so much.
Yeah. Also about the episode is that a binaural edition of of Knock Knock will be available on iPlayer straight after it has been broadcast tonight from 8 p.m. on Saturday the 6th of May, and it can be heard. So far, a preview clip can be heard in binaural edition in a binaural form with headphones on in the BBC Doctor Who page. You need to listen to the episode or the clip on headphones.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, you could see a full nail-biting experience of the episode as revealed a couple of weeks back
Fantastic.
when the synopsis was revealed. So very interesting to get that. Trying something new once again.
Mm.
Should we move on to the hints and teasers like we always do at this point in
Yes,
the show?
let's do that because time's running on.
We're almost
We've
in
still
the
got
hour mark.
that. Yeah, we've still got an item to go through. So yeah, lay down them these teasers.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do this, and then after that we can talk through some of them. So 1, it's smaller on the inside. 2, the episode is very musical. It starts with a violin, ends with a piano, and has some bass in the middle.
The whole feeling for a minute. Then we were going to be in a gunfighters type
Oh
situation.
no!
It's knocking on the door again. Well, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah. For those interested, it's Sonata for Solo Violin No. 1 in G minor by Bach. So she's going to be more like later Amy, Rory and Clara, and less like Rose, Martha and Donna. Yes, she's a Stephen Moffat companion. The Doctor helping Bill to move is my special visual gag thus far in Series 10. For those keeping score, we can check the new requisitive Time Lord Time Lord conversation off our to-do list of new companion firsts. Mark my words, Bill will meet 13. We meet Bill's grandfather. Bill shows her new place to her mom, and Harriet Jones.
Sorry, Bill will meet 13.
Yeah, let's talk through some of these. First of all, she's going to be more like later Amy, Rory and Clara, and less like Rose, Martha and Donna. Thoughts?
I suddenly felt I had a cold sweat come on.
Me too. What do you mean?
I just thought, no, please don't make her be superhuman.
I know.
Oh, what is this? It's something coming out of the vault. Ah, it's my true self.
You've done some laugh out loud iconic lines today. Really cool. Doctor Cool.
I'm just that worries me a little bit because I like the whole way that Bill has been.
Me too.
I don't want it.
Neither
to be,
do I.
I'm
Two
not-
of them on Dusty and Cyberman.
Yeah.
We're just repeating our jokes here.
It just, no, I just don't want that. I don't want it to suddenly turn out that actually Bill isn't really Bill, that she's actually Susan.
That'd be great. Well, it says we meet Bill's grandfather.
Mhm.
Yes, because Bill calls the Doctor grandfather in the episode. She introduces to the group of friends. The Doctor is a grandfather.
Thus proving that she is, in fact,
Susan! Mark my words, Bill will meet 13. What? What did you think that means?
I am intrigued by that. Really.
Do you think he'll be in this series?
How cool would that be? Well, how cool
would
would
be
it be, right, Lou, if somehow they'd managed to keep the next Doctor secret and actually announce it during this episode?
Yeah,
to
I'd love
her
that.
speaking to the next Doctor.
I'd love that at the end
That'd
when
be
the vault.
brilliant.
Imagine even in Extremis when like the Bill comes into the vault and she sees the Doctor and he goes, "Hello, Bill," and then it goes introducing, insert name here, Chris Marshall probably as the next Doctor.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? That'd be fantastic. Yeah. No, intrigued.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we get on to the next?
Yeah. Next
couple?
batch.
The final batch today for Knock Knock. Bill apparently loves Little Mix. This does not sit well with her roommate. Oh dear. Yes, the obvious joke gets made. Harriet Jones isn't the only famous Jones the episode references. And no, it's not Martha or Ianto, though his name does start with I. Eliza's performance is very stiff, almost wooden. Funniest line, you've got something just there. Great, now we have to be terrified of music boxes too.
Who's Eliza?
I'll tell you in a sec.
Okay.
If you could save the one, wouldn't you? At the episode's end, the Doctor goes back to the Stone Age. We get a clue to who's in the vault. One singular clue. Oh, did I say who? I also meant what. So, let's talk. Eliza is, she's the wooden creature, apparent, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
At the episode's end, the Doctor goes back to the Stone Age. What do you think that could mean?
Is that setting the scene for the next episode? Is the next episode set in the Stone Age?
No, it's oxygen, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but is it set in the Stone Age somehow?
No.
No. Is it set in space? I don't know.
Yeah, it's split in space.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's maybe it's a space station back in the past.
Yeah, no, it's
Operated
actually
by
in space.
Susan.
AKA Bill.
Yeah.
So, and then the final one, we get a clue to who's in the vault. One singular clue. Oh, did I say who? I also meant what. What do you think that means?
The master with the key of time.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine if
Okay.
it's like it's just like a Dalek.
Yeah. No.
Useless wants to cameos. Anyway.
So, do we have anything else for our preview of Knock Knock?
I don't think so. Should we round up our opinion? So, so it's on at 7:20 tonight, or it could have aired already, but you can still listen to the binarial edition if you haven't already, if it's aired. I'm going to watch it twice. I've not watched any episode this series twice because I haven't had the chance. I will rewatch them later on in the year when I've got the DVDs, or maybe when I've got the time on iPlayer, because they're on iPlayer for 3 months.
Are they? Cool.
I'm looking forward to it and anticipating it.
I've got a feeling this one is either going to be really, really good or
Really
be
disappointed.
the Sleep No More of the series.
It could be a Blink of the series, or it could be a Sleep No More of the series.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah.
But I do like things set in a haunted house.
Yes, me too. Me
Okay.
too. I think it'll be a Hyde-esque story.
Okay.
Hopefully bar the ending.
Yeah. So should we get on to our final section of the show?
Yes, so we are going to be discussing our top scary moment. Too good, too bad. I didn't do that as well. It sounds like Sylvester Stallone or something.
We have wait, first of all, explain what this final section of the show is.
So this section, as always, we are going to be discussing some of our top moments, and we do it to a topic of our choice to do with the episode that's going to air next. This time we've decided, because it's going to be set in a haunted house and everything, we're going to be discussing our top scary moments and episodes in Doctor Who.
Or to phrase it another way, scary moments from Doctor Who. Too good, too bad.
Yeah, as always, what a surprise! This show is not getting original. Should we?
If this podcast is the monster from Thin Ice, then this section is the poo that is churned out of it.
Too good, too bad,
Yeah.
and it's at the end.
And it's at the end. Yeah.
Where was he going to go with this article?
Too good, too bad. So
thin, these articles, so
So
rubbish.
we're going to sort of think about across the whole, from classic and new.
Yeah.
We're going to think of two good either scary episodes or scenes. So it could be a really scary scene from an episode, and then we'll think of two bad attempts as well.
Okay.
So let's start with the two good.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Blink.
I was going to go with Blink as well. You go with Blink first.
Blink. I think there are some really effective scenes done here. The Weeping Angels proved to be a terrifying villain. There are some scary moments, like the bit where what's he called? Oh, I forgot his name now. The guy, the man.
Bloke.
Yeah, the bloke
Yeah.
and Sally. Sally's trying to open the door to get downstairs to the area where the TARDIS is, and the guy's just looking, and the Weeping Angel's just coming, and he's struggling to blink, and then they're starting to come around him, and then the bit later on when it's just done so well.
Yes.
It's just done so well. I won't explain it hardly, but it's just done very effectively with wonderful direction from the woman who directed The Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar.
Yes, I forgot about that actually.
Yes.
I thought that was the same person. If I'm going to think of good ones, do you know? I think I'm going to delve into classic Who for mine,
Okay.
and I think I'm going to talk a little bit about the first ever appearance of the Daleks.
Yeah, this is our first mention to Classic Who this episode.
Yeah, it is actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think in terms of things that were scary, I think although it's dated in many ways, there is something quite chilling about the first time you ever saw the Daleks ever come into it. It was really effectively done with you just sort of seeing the sort of stalky bit, and I think it's very easy to forget sometimes when you watch things in these days how scary things would have been back at that point when television itself was still in its relative infancy.
Yes.
And it was for no, we obviously, that sort of period spawned the whole watching things from behind the sofa tag, which has followed Who around since that early time, and I think probably the first appearance of the Daleks is probably as good an example of that as any.
Yeah, I think the Daleks were much, much scarier back then.
Okay, so too bad.
I am going to put in there what was it? Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
The ending of
Yeah,
Hyde.
I was going to mention that too.
The ending of Hyde ruins the whole episode. Although done relatively effectively for the majority of the episode in the first half, and it's quite a creepy episode.
It's a really good start to that.
And it would be in Too Good Too Bad for this, maybe as one of the runners up for good.
Yeah.
And that would be possible if it wasn't for the ending, but it sort of ruins it and lets it down. So it's a shame that had to be put in there, inserted by the writer. Why am I awful with writers today? I can't think who wrote it.
It's I don't know what it is that makes that bit so bad, because it's actually filmed quite well. It looks quite good, and it's quite exciting in its own right. It's just a real disappointing sort of turnout, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's just a monster that's in love.
Yeah, so I think it's Neil Cross who.
Yeah, I think. So I move on to mine.
Yeah.
My bad one would it's a very similar sort of idea, but the one with the peg monsters in.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Peg Dolls. Night Terrors.
Night Terrors, yeah.
Written by Mark Gatiss.
Which again is a great idea. The actual peg dolls themselves are really, really creepy, but it wusses out at the end again, and it's.
I know.
And that actually is an episode in general. You sort of think it's effective, but it could be so much more effective.
It could be, definitely.
A few honourable mentions, perhaps, in terms of other scary moments.
I think the Cybermen we're gonna go for in the 10th Planet. I think they are very creepy.
I think the Cybermen were very creepy when they first came out. I think there's a moment in Heaven Sent which is really jumpy where he's been followed by the whatever that creature's called again.
Sleep No More tried to be scary.
Yeah.
But it failed.
Yeah. Scariest monster. What do you think's in the scariest monster? I mean, the
Weeping Angels, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe the Vastranarada.
Vastranarada
really cool.
were very scary.
Yeah.
Very creepy. Daleks and Cybermen, Daleks and Cybermen were much scarier in the 60s. The Cybermen were the scariest classic Who villain, probably.
Yeah. The interesting thing would be which one is going to be scariest over the next few episodes. Is it going to be tonight's episode Knock Knock, or is it going to be Oxygen?
Yes, we will find out in 2 weeks' time in our review of Oxygen.
Okay, I think that's sort of from my perspective that wraps it up.
I think it does. That wraps up the show today.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us, by the way, today.
Yeah.
Very, very good to participate in this time. We do have some news about Torchwood, that Big Finish. They just popped through on the Twitter feed that Big Finish will be doing a new series, Aliens Among Us, which I'm sure there'll be many more details for next week, which is kind of like a series 5 of Torchwood but in audio adventures. So that'll be released soon, and we'll talk about that next week. But that's it for this week's show.
Yeah, how can people contact us?
Wait, should you do next week's first?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So next week, on episode 211, we will be reviewing episode 4 of series 10, Knock Knock.
We'll have more news and views and who's
and previews.
Universities and previews.
For Oxygen, series 10, episode 5, written by Jamie Matheson.
We'll have a main item. Well, no, it won't really be a main. It'll be a very short item tacked on the end to fill up the rest of the show.
And that will be top space episodes.
We shall have, no doubt, at various points of the show, Too Good, Too Bad.
Yes, of course, and that's about it. So how to contact us then? We are over at DRWho Time Unspace at Twitter, and that's as in N, where you can tell us about all of the latest. You can talk to us about the latest news. You can vote in our polls. You can tell us about Knock Knock or Thin Ice, or anything to do with Doctor Who, or anything sci-fi. You can go to.
Oh, to me? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Oh, okay. I was daydreaming there completely. Hello. My Twitter is Mark with a C, Mark Freak Geek,
Yes, and you can talk to him about loads of sci-fi stuff, and we'll both happily reply. Maybe me a bit more, but
Because I very rarely go on there.
Yeah.
But wake me up out of my slumber.
yeah, mate can go on there. So our website, mrlewismoonadventures.weebly.com, is the place to go for news, reviews, early reviews, videos, exclusives, Series 10 chunks and stuff that you may have missed. Everything's going to be on there, so if you check on there you can see that. Plus you can see our podcast at Podomatic, Dodgy Time and Space. First opinion videos, so our first... my initial reviews of Thin Ice were available last week, and every episode every Sunday, and that's on Mr. Lewis Moon at YouTube, and there's also Dodgy Time and Spaces released a little bit later there. Also, Dodgy Podcast Alliance holds Dodgy Time and Space, and so does iTunes, so make sure you listen to the podcast every week and stay tuned, because we'll make it worthwhile, and you could even follow to our newsletter, which we hardly ever do. Okay, yeah, that was long. So that's it for today, folks. Thank you for listening. I've been Lewis Moon,
And I've been Dr. Cool.
and we will see you next time, same time,
Same space.
goodbye.